What was that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wolfkin's TTRPG. My name is the Psychic Gamer, and I am your DM for a brand new 5e D&D campaign we're running called Temptations. We are just starting now. Everyone's excited. I'm excited. I'm also nervous as shit. And my biggest challenge is not going to be getting Wolf cancelled on Twitch in the first episode.
Yeah, please don't. Jeez. I mean, you've been on Kupo Quest for like 50 episodes now, so.
So let's
I
go
think
over a
we'll-
list of what gets you canceled on Twitch.
Yeah, let's just
Yes.
say all the things right
Just
now.
every single one.
Let me check all of the terms I can use that you cannot. No.
You are Australian. You're allowed to say
Great
things
timing.
Americans aren't.
Oh, he's already got
there we go.
he abuses that privilege all the time, actually.
Oh, 100%. I regularly do. But no, so welcome to Temptations. This is the first one that I'm running streamed, and it is also one of the first ones that I will be doing. So please be nice to me. That would be nice. But joining us
Nice.
today, we have 4 players, 1 new to the channel, and 3. Well, 1 new to the channel, 1 has been here, 2 regulars. If we can introduce ourselves and our characters, starting with, why not?
Me? You starting with me?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm Wolfkins. I'm on everything here just because I'm the one that streams, so they have to play with me. That's why I started streaming. So yes, I will be playing Rose, a human druid, and that's all you're getting from me right now. I like
We love
my
that.
secrets.
We do. We love character secrets. Gives you a bit more growth.
Yeah.
And secrets die with their players. What? Moving
Don't
on,
you
we
threaten
have
me.
Coral.
All right, so Coral. I'm Zeb. I'm going to be playing Coral, half-elf paladin, and since we're keeping things vague, I think I'll follow suit, and you'll see more from him shortly.
Very well. Next up, we are going to go to Varus. How are you pronouncing that?
Valrus.
Valorous.
Yes, I am Bubbles. I am playing Valrus Brightwater. She is a tiefling artificer and mystery.
And then last but not least, we have, of course, Lando. Introduce yourself, please.
Lando is a human bard. He probably would have been a sorcerer if the world had allowed magic, and that's about as far as I'll go as well.
Alrighty, so bringing that
I
to
hope you
the
didn't plan
top.
that to last for like 42 minutes or anything there, Psychic.
No, I didn't. I will have you know, for the past like 2 hours before we started, I panicked, being like, I don't have enough, and added so much shit. Now I'm like, I have too
You
much.
have too much, yeah.
You probably had too much to begin with.
Probably knowing me. But
Well, then you got 3
so welcome everybody to the world of Allowrie, where we are starting today in a little town called Zapren. Zapren is an agricultural and farming hub of the kind of continent of Ulfrim. The continent has been struck right down the middle, what we call Lightning Ridge, with the Great Ravine or the Great Fissure. People usually call it something different. Starting in our town, we moving over to the Roll20 because everybody needs to at least have a token or something. Otherwise, it's just going to be awkward, and I'm just going to say things. No, starting in the town of
Paint us a
Zapren,
picture.
Well, I've been waiting for all of you to like kind of have something, and now everyone's got multiple things, and I'm confused. No.
Fair enough.
We are going to start our story with. Let's start with Coral coming into Zapren first. So, Coral, you're coming into the town of Zapren with the caravan that is working with the merchants, working with trading, bringing everything in. You've been traveling on the road for about 2-3 days now since you kind of left the Ulfram capital. Having a few stops every now and again. This side of the continent is a little bit smaller. There's a lot more kind of dense forestry, not as spaced out as where everything else is. But as you're coming into Zapren, your kind of main goal was to just keep the caravan safe. Once you got to the town, you could kind of do whatever you wanted. You're just a guard. So with the rest of the guards coming in and everything happening, the only kind of information that you were given about where you were going is it's an agricultural town and there are farming and shit. So coming in from the left on the map, off to that side, because I remembered I can do things in Roll20. On the left side there, coming in, as you start to roll in, there is a younger gentleman that kind of comes up to the caravan, and he stops when he notices you, not so much everybody else, as one of the main guards and head guards of the group.
Mm-hmm.
You're part of the caravan, yes?
Yes.
Right.
What can I do?
Okay. Just little kind of a thing to run through. Don't start a fight. Don't do anything like normal. Your normal stuff that happens in your towns. Also, try and maybe stay away from the caravans when all the trades are happening. The people do still get quite nervous, as we've heard. There have been some bandits traveling with people. I kind of just don't want to see my people getting hurt. And as you're kind of watching him, he is quite nervous. And this is Benji, who is the town mayor of Zapparin. He's only in his late 20s, who took over because the last one just kind of ran the town into the mud. And he was like, I can fix this. And he's one of the only successful people to actually fix something. So as he's kind of very nervously talking to you, he still hasn't even approached the merchants yet. But he's like, look, you're welcome to do whatever you want. There are people, there are places. We don't really have much. We do have the Fisher. That's probably the most exciting thing about the town. But there's not really much else. But we can get the caravan up and ready and get it sorted by tonight, if that would be preferred. Sorry.
Oh, I mean that sounds fine by me. I mean, you probably want to talk to the the merchants themselves here, but yeah, I was just tasked with bringing them here safely, and looks like that's been done. So, yeah, my contract's over. Oh, don't worry, I won't mess up your town here.
Well, thank you. Well, you're free to do as you will. Yeah.
What do you
I
got to
don't
do
know.
for
Just
fun in this town? I mean, you got this Fisher, but what else?
well, we don't really have a lot. Zaffron hasn't really grown very much. I've only just now put us on the map with trading and with the agricultural the gains that we have gotten over the past 5 years. But I mean,
You got
we
a place
have.
where a salesforce can get some work?
You could probably maybe look in the tavern for now. We don't really have many people asking for help. Most of us are pretty self-sufficient with a lot of the blessings that we had after what happened. But I mean, we've got the Fisher, we've got a rubber ball that the kids play around with. I mean, we don't really
All right,
see
sure.
anything weird about that. But as
Yeah,
your
I didn't catch your name. What was your name again?
Benji, it's nice
Benji.
to meet you, sir.
All right. All right. Well, that's all. Yeah. Well, good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. As he leaves you, oh my god, my nose is so itchy all of a sudden. Why when I'm doing this? Anyway, as you kind of he stops talking to you, he's like really apologetic and really nervous.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah, he's kind of just acting a little bit weird, but like, I mean, it's the first time that this town has really been shown up on the trade network. Zapparin hasn't really been a thing for a while. It's kind of just was a dead town before Mednu came in and fixed it up. But after leaving you for a moment, he heads over and starts talking to the merchant. And as you look around, there are like just your regular townspeople kind of milling around. There's a few people working in their gardens. There's an older gentleman with a lady kind of just slowly moving around and meandering. There is one little kid kind of looking over the well, but you do see one person in the far top right kind of coming out of the door, and we are moving over to our good friend Rose.
That's me.
That is you. As you kind of wake up for today, it is early morning, kind of doing your own thing and stepping outside and enjoying the thing. You do have some tasks that you do need to do. There's the farming, there's the gardening, pulling some weeds, etc. Rose, Are you out, dear?
Yes. I'm sorry. Who was that?
Oh, it's fine that you've forgotten. My name is Evelyn. Remember,
Oh, yes,
I
Evelyn.
brought
I'm
you
I'm
in.
sorry. Of course. Yes.
Oh no, of
I'm
course,
still
it's
waking up a
totally
little bit. I
understandable.
apologize.
Of course. I was just wondering if so you have only just woken up, yes?
Yes. Yes.
No,
In a matter
that's
of speaking,
understandable.
I've not been up long at all.
Well, that's quite all right. You were quite tired last night, so I don't blame you for staying staying in bed a little late today. I was just wondering if you have had any luck with the voices, if they're still kind of coming. Are they there? How are you feeling
No,
today?
I'm feeling much better today. Actually, I think the good night's sleep is really what I needed.
You
I
see that Evelyn's older features kind of just relax a little bit as she kind of like was really quite worried. You're still not 100% sure since arriving a few days ago. The townspeople have been very accommodating for you. They've been very nice. They've been very kind. It's also quite nice to see people that are like actually taking you in, as you've been kind of traveling for a little while now, and a lot of people kind of just push you off to the side because you do look a little differently to what the regular townspeople do. Um, but that is something that is revealed a little later.
Sure.
But with it, Evelyn just kind of lets one hand kind of just like lightly, brush your hair off to the side. She's like, well, I remember you mentioning yesterday that there was some weird sound coming from the ravine. I mean, we've all kind of heard it. It's totally understandable. Um, Maybe when you're done with what you're doing, I mean, you have the day off. Would you maybe want to have a look at that, or
You
maybe
want me to
not?
check that out?
Well, of
Yeah,
course,
no, no, yeah,
everybody's done it.
okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, I could do that. I have a little. Everyone's done that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose I didn't really explain it yesterday to you. I apologize for that. But with the town, since Benji came in and fixed it up a few years ago, we've had the Druidic Council kind of come in and basically fix up a few things to help us get our name on the map.
Okay.
With that, since Benji's taken a lot of time, and we're starting to get a lot better, but since everything kind of happened, there have been some sounds, some voices, and things that everyone's had, and everybody kind
Okay.
of takes that moment and has a look over at the ravine as, well, that's where I went 2 years ago, that's where my son went last week. Everyone just kind of has a look around. Usually the voices kind of fade after that one, so I thought I'd,
Okay.
let you know early before you spent too long here, dear.
Yeah, I guess I guess I could do that. Yes, yes, I can do that, Evelyn. Thank you.
Okay, you're sure?
Yeah, yes, I think that's fine. I think I can do that.
Okay,
I
well,
do have some things I need to take care of, but I
oh,
will try to.
of course, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, 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 no. It's okay. Again, I appreciate everything you've done for me, and if you need anything else, please let me know. Don't hesitate.
Oh, I'm I'm sure I'll be reminded of something soon that I'm going to need someone younger than I to help with. These bones aren't quite what they used to be. This lady is in her late 30s. She is not
Hey,
old at all.
hey, there will be none of that. Late 30s.
That is a direct reference to what
Yes.
you said in the interview, saying that
Late
you were so old and your back is
30s.
so sore.
My back does hurt from time to time.
Mine does too. Okay, so it's a
Hey,
thing.
and you're a
It's a
week older
thing.
than me too, so
I am.
All right,
I
you
am.
youngsters.
Uh,
um,
so as Evelyn kind of like lets you know that she's going to let you go, you do have a couple of things, just your normal daily things that have been asked. So just looking after the garden,
sure.
and other moments like that. And as you kind of look around to the south, you do see the caravan that's come in, and you do see a rather tall, elven-looking fellow who is quite different to what you have seen before. You haven't actually met, like any other person other than a human for quite a long time. And as you're kind of like looking in and there's a little bit of intrigue, but you've got tasks to do. You have things that you need to do. So you kind of just take some time and do your thing. But every morning, we always look forward to it as you start to hear the sounds of music start to play throughout the town. As we come over to Lando, our lovely bard for today.
Mm.
Well, for today, for a long time, we hope, of course. Alrighty.
For now, you're the bard.
For now.
For now
I
at
haven't-
least. We'll see.
I haven't decided how long we want to keep this one for. No, I'm kidding.
Um,
Lando, as you start up every day, you've started for the last 2 weeks since you've been in town. You've had a few people that have started to listen in, but everybody kind of does their own thing. No one's usually stopping and listening to the music that plays, but it's good practice to kind of keep playing some music, keep playing sounds, and it's good practice for us as well to kind of try and keep everything in check. We've had a few mishaps in the past, but practice makes perfect. And as you're kind of playing, there starts to play a little bit more of a somber sound that was, not there like yesterday. It wasn't there the week before, but all of a sudden today it feels like we're playing just a little bit of a more somber, slower sound today with the lutes. And as you're kind of playing, remembering the past, remembering everything that's kind of happened to us over the years to lead us to the town of Zaprin, there is one gentleman, or one little gentleman, that kind of comes up, says, Master Lando, are you okay?
What? I'm so sorry. When I play, I kind of just zone out. I
Yes.
apologize. What was it you were saying?
No, I was asking if you were alright, sir.
Oh,
I only ask because the
you
last
know how
couple of
heavy
weeks.
this world is.
Granted, I haven't been here long, but it is quite evident, yes. I was just... The music that you were playing reminded me of my grandfather and how he used to play as well, and there's a certain somberness to it, and I don't know, it kind of reminded me of when my grandfather would play more harrowing, sad sounds, I think would be the technical term, I'm not sure. But the music is quite deep. It kind of reminds me of, the ravine just outside where we don't really know a whole lot about it, but I don't know, it reminded me of those two things, and I just wanted to see if you were okay.
Lando places his hand, kind of on his shoulder, and he puts his lute on his back, and he says, "You know what? Come with me to the inn. Let's go have a drink and tell me all about your grandfather. Come on."
Sure. Give me a little bit today. I've just got a couple of things to do this morning, but maybe a drink today would be good. Maybe it might be good
Yeah,
for all of us.
come on. You can do all that tomorrow. Come on, let's get out of here.
Sure, why not? Let's do it. And you see as he kind of he does a little smile a little bit, but he's still feeling a bit down, a bit odd, but mainly due to just remembering that of his grandfather and with all of the music that he used to play as well. A lot of the times with him, you've seen him around a little bit. He's just got the dark hair that comes down to his shoulders. He's enjoying himself, but he's not quite a part of the town just yet. You learnt recently that he's only been here maybe a month before you had arrived yourself. So over the past 2 weeks, you two have kind of made a bit of a friendship going, just two new people in a new town, and it's been nice to have someone there. So with the two of you heading over to the inn, as you kind of do come in, it isn't very big. It's not very interesting. There's nothing really catching your eye. It's kind of just three medium-sized tables sitting down, everybody has their own seats, everyone has their own place, and even when new people do arrive, you would have known, and Rose, you would have known as well, as you kind of arrived only a few days ago. Every time a new person comes to the town, there's always a table, there's always a seat for everybody, and they kind of just have a little piece of paper that they write everyone's name on, sticks it onto the chair so everyone has their own place. As you kind of step in, there's a gentleman behind the bar who's just kind of waking up himself. He's rubbing the sleep out of his eye. He's going to take his glasses off to rub the sleep out. And he kind of looks over. He's like, Lando, yes? Correct. I believe your name was?
Yes, and
Steve, yes, I know. Quite odd in a world where everybody has very strange names, and I have the weirdest one.
Well, you know what, Steve? I knew your name. I'm sorry. So, I'll tell you what. Hey, what's your poison, kid? Lando's asking the kid that's with him.
He kind of looks up at the bartender and at Lando and just says, I mean, anything but ale? I'm not quite old enough for that one yet, but I'll just take whatever.
Get him a whiskey. Whiskey's for both of us. Come on. Whiskey's all around. Whiskey's for everyone in here.
The tavern just kind of looks at you, looks at the young one next to you, and then looks around at the empty tavern and is like, yeah, whiskey's for everyone. That sounds like a great idea. Do you think his voices are playing up again? The young one just kind of look at you and be like, you know what, maybe, I'm not quite sure. But as you take your seats and the gentleman passes you a whiskey, there is finally someone else that enters as Coral walks through the inn and kind of just has a look around and says, you, sir, are new here. We do not have a seat for you, unfortunately, but we do have the bar, and good timing as well. Our dear friend Lando
Whiskey for him!
Everyone a whiskey, so if you would like a drink, feel free to take a seat, and we can grab you Sully to ride up, sir.
Well, that's hospitality, all right.
Well, normally
drink.
I'd charge, but he's a bit of a generous person, so why not? I'll take his money instead. And he gives you a bit of a wink. And as
come join us.
Yeah.
Who might refuse? I joined.
So now there are 3 of you coming in. As you are going to take some time to have a bit of a chat, have a nice little gas bag, as we say. Rose, you are finishing up with your things for now. Feeling a little parched, but you've still got things to do. You have your little water skin on the side there that you've been taking sips out of every now and again. And as you kind of walk around, there is a moment where you bump into our good friend Valorous, who has been here
sorry.
for...
I was in my head. I didn't mean to bump into you like that.
Val is just gonna look up and be like, and then go back to her tinkering. Walk away.
Pardon. Hey.
Yes.
Val, as you have been in the town for quite a while, you've been here the longest out of this new kind of group of people. You've been here for a couple of months. This has been one of the only places where you've kind of felt comfortable showing your face, showing who you are, and you haven't given all your cards on the table. The only person that really knows who you are and how you do things is Benji, as he was the one that kind of invited you in, gave you a place to stay after some recent happenings with your tribe. But as everybody else has been quite nice, and we're still kind of learning that trust, especially in a new situation, new people, we don't trust very easily. But as you kind of are tinkering away, you knocking something together, it looks like a little cube, and everybody else would just see it as a square, but I would love for you to roll me the first check, which is going to be an intelligence check for me, please.
The first one.
Oh, goodness.
The first one.
I got the first one in Dragonbane too.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
21.
21. as you're kind of tinkering away with things, you start to get quite excited. You've been working on this for a couple of days now, and as you kind of hit the last knot, you are probably one of the only people around you that can see that there is a little bit of a light starting to protrude from this little cube. And even though you've been working on it for a little while, it starts to get a bit brighter before it dulls into like a nice golden sheen. Rose, you notice the golden sheen kind of as you're walking away. There's a bright light that appears, and your eyes do kind of take notice of it as you turn around and see Val has been tinkering with this little thing, and now there's like a golden glow to it.
I'm gonna run back over to her. I'm sorry. Please, I know I don't mean to bother you, but what do you have there? Is that magic?
I haven't had the time to study it enough. I have just figured out how to open it, so I don't
Oh,
know. Most likely, it's the most logical answer.
wow. I haven't seen magic in a while. Um, People around here get a little weird about that kind of stuff, but what is that, if you don't mind me asking? Like,
You know, I'm not sure. Where did I find this?
So this cube is something that you've been working on for a while. It's something that you've kind of created in your own time. Um, think of it kind of like a temporary ADHD obsession where you're just obsessed with making cubes make light, and this is the first one that's actually worked. You do have in your bag like 5 or 6 other cubes that are just basically dead cubes, but this is the first one that you've like managed to hit correctly, and it's like you actually have no idea what you've just done, but you're like, oh, it works. I don't know why, but it works.
I thought that maybe in the dark, I've seen you and some of the other people around needing to clean and do things outside, and it gets quite dark here, so I thought maybe I'd find a way to give you a little bit of light
that
so
would
you're
be
not in
amazing.
my
That
way.
would be great. I mean, I don't want you to get in trouble. And I mean, I'm relatively new here, but it's just people seem very uh I don't know, they seem weird. I don't really understand it, but they seem weird with things like this. So I just wanted to give you a heads up, I guess. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm overstepping. I don't mean to.
Why would people not appreciate light in darkness? I don't understand
I
that
mean,
helping
I
them.
don't understand it either. It just seems like a lot of people around here specifically seem to, if there's any kind of, I don't know, magical things, they just seem very, I don't know. It's odd to me. It's not like that where I'm from.
Yeah, um, me neither. I guess I'll just go back to to making my lights over here. I'm
I mean,
gonna-
it would be very useful though if you did make another one. I would be interested in purchasing one from you.
Would you just like this one? It's a prototype. I want to make another one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, that would be lovely. Thank you. Thank you. I think that will help a lot. I actually was making plans to go to the ravine later. I was told it's something I'm supposed to do. Um, so this will help in case it gets dark on that trip.
Yeah, I suppose I've probably like heard people when I'm like sitting
You've
in the back of the
definitely listen to people who talk about the ravine, and you will have remembered that there was a young gentleman that was kind of told to go and walk over there a week ago. Benji has never really mentioned to you about the ravine. He kind of just assumed that you would either have known about it or that you kind of did your own thing with it, involving the situation and everything that kind of went down. But aside from that, you haven't actually been there yet. You've kind of just been sitting around town or sitting around doing your own thing. Um, but yeah, you've not been there yet. You don't actually know what it looks like. You've only heard stories at this moment. Even though it's only literally like 10 minutes down the road, you're so busy with the tinkering and the things that you want to do that it has completely slipped your mind.
yes, yeah, definitely heard about that. It doesn't sound very logical to go. It sounds very dangerous.
I mean, I kind of thought the same thing, but this lady that's been helping me, her name's Evelyn, just really insisted that I check it out. I don't know. I don't know why. I just feel like I kind of feel like I owe her a little bit. So I was going to check it out. I assume it's not. I mean, I hope it's not dangerous. I don't think she would send me somewhere if it was dangerous. I hope.
Suppose there may be some new things to study. I suppose.
Everything seems new.
Miss, would you maybe like some company? I would love an opportunity. I've never actually been there myself. I would
I,
love
that would
to come with you.
that would be lovely, actually. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. My name's Rose. I don't remember if I caught yours.
I'm Valrus.
Valorous. That's a lovely name. Yes, if you wouldn't mind, I would love some company. It's
Yes, it only seems logical to go in pairs, doesn't it?
I,
Don't
I
isn't
think
that what
so too.
people do?
I think that is what people do. Yes. It'd be nice to
Very
have
well.
someone besides Evelyn to talk to. She likes to complain about how old she is, even though she's not really that old. It gets a little annoying, but
That doesn't sound very logical, does it?
no, it doesn't. I mean, she's only like mid-30s or something. She's not old, but all she talks about is how bad she feels.
It's
Uh,
outside of logic.
Then it
I,
doesn't exist for Val.
I was gonna maybe just get something to eat or a quick drink before I head out if you'd like to join me.
Why, yes, I could use a little bit of sustenance, and I would love to work on another cube while we're at it.
Well, that sounds great. How about this? I'll buy you a drink for your company on the trip.
So yes, I suppose some milk. I would need some protein to get myself the energy to be able to go. So yes, I would enjoy some milk. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I think they have milk. We'll go see. And then
All right.
I'll head over to the tavern.
Yeah, I'm following. Valrus is actually also going to pull out of her backpack uh, a set of what can only be described as headphones that she has tinkered. One of her abilities is that she up to 4 items imbue a tiny non-magical object. I'm imagining the tininess is like the earbuds, right? um
Mhm.
with a magical property of your choice, one of which can be a nonverbal sound, and I think she's going to imbue it with a sort of like a noise canceling sound, so it's not as noisy in the bar for her, so she can concentrate better.
That's
You've
She'll still be
amazing.
able
invented
to hear people, but she's yeah.
Amazing.
you just invented noise canceling
That's
headphones.
fantastic.
That is great.
It's kind of like headphones.
That's
First
perfect.
session,
That's
first thing.
fantastic.
That's the best use of that spell I've ever heard. You could also do like just like any kind of like white noise that you wanted, like a little birds
Yeah,
chirping or something. Man,
Yep. Wow.
I'm telling you.
that's
Alrighty,
great.
so
Hobby.
uh, bringing the rule of absolutely interesting and amazing creative stuff. I'm giving inspiration for inventing noise canceling
Sure.
headphones within like an
Sure.
hour of the first session. That's
Excellent.
fucking cool. um, but yeah, so you two are now making your way into the tavern with two people and a young child. Kind of, I say young child. He's like maybe 13, 14. He's quite young still.
Old enough to
Um,
be drinking whiskey.
Absolutely.
well,
I think so.
old enough
This,
to be
yeah.
drinking whiskey in a town where they probably shouldn't, but like let's be honest, they do not care. This is a
They don't have
working
anything better
town.
to do.
Exactly. So as you two step inside the bar, there isn't a whole lot of noise, but a few more people have started to arrive, and everybody that comes in is always greeted with a hello. Oh shit! What's your
Oh,
name?
Rose,
Val.
and this is
No, I know
yes.
you,
Oh,
Rose, sweetie. It's
oh.
okay, fine.
Okay,
Uh,
thanks.
Val, I think, is the new one. Haven't seen you around, but as per everybody that jumps in, welcome to our little home away from home. And there is a whiskey on the bar waiting for you to get picked up because this guy's pocket is endless and my business is thriving. So come take a seat. enjoy a drink,
Did you say
and
free
well, if you want
whiskey?
something else, that's fine. Oh yeah,
And,
he's been paying all day.
And Lando yells out, he's pretty drunk by now. He's like, "Yeah, hey, come over here and join us, and come talk to us. Yeah, get on over here."
Val, I know you said milk, but this is free. Are you fond of whiskey?
It's not very logical to drink alcohol, is it? It ruins your mind. It makes you stop
Yes, it
thinking.
is.
It's not very
It
logical, is it?
tastes very good, and if you have just a little, it doesn't really mess with your mind. It just kind of makes it augments things a little bit. And then think of it this way: it's an experiment you can run. You know, how does the effects of this change your perception of where you are for a short time?
Lando knows what to say. It makes math really fun.
Math is
It's the only thing that makes math fun.
And that's from
Well,
a
I suppose
mathematician.
it'd be-
Yep, I have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree in math, so I am the
There you go.
authority
Take it.
on this.
Take it from him.
she's gonna pick it up and go. Well, I suppose it would be a good idea to study the effects for science purposes.
You
and
do it
she's
like
gonna-
this, right? And then Rose just picks one up and just shoots it back. Quick, down the hatch, very fast.
And afterwards, you can go to something like, because it kind of helps.
I love that everybody's peer pressuring Val to drink.
Val, while we are kind of peer pressuring, I would like you, Lando, and Rose to all make persuasion checks. So you two are persuading her,
We're
and
seeing how
Val
good we are
is-
at peer pressure.
and
Yep.
Hey, nat
Val is
20.
doing.
Oh, damn.
Bitch, you drinking?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
19.
They
Nine-
have overridden the logical side of the brain and they've given some good arguments.
Peer
Like, maybe it
pressure.
is a good idea to study the effects of how it would, how it would do things.
Self-experimentation.
Yeah, learn what real people in the real
There
world
we
do.
go.
And she's gonna take it and she's just gonna go fast,
Fast.
like quickly.
Very
Or
quick.
slow, however you want.
No,
It doesn't matter.
One quick, just straight up down the hatch.
Oh well, I suppose. And she's gonna, I guess, do it. But everybody here who has ever had a shot knows that first time that you do it, you are not gonna do it right. And
Nope.
so she's
Nope.
absolutely gonna it's gonna get stuck in the back of her throat. She's gonna choke. Some
Be
of
in
it's
your
gonna come
nose.
out. She's gonna be like, oh well, that was unpleasant.
Oh, are you okay? Yeah, it burns a little bit, but it's gonna warm you
A
up.
little
I think you need some water.
Just a little. It's just a
You
little
said
burn.
it would taste good.
Yeah, you know
Lando.
what, Coral?
I think it does.
You've got a point. And the bartender kind of places just a glass of milk in front of you. As like, I've heard that you like that. That's a little better.
Well, that's gonna
Someone
that's
should
gonna
warn
curdle
her
in
about
my
whiskey and
stomach.
milk.
Bartender don't care. You're paying, mate.
Yeah. I don't know. So
I'm paying for milk.
Did he just pay for one for everyone, or?
Only one. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's already drunk. You could probably convince him to give you some more, but at this present moment in time,
why not?
I'm
There
not
there you go.
Are there some
Little
still
lady,
lined
you're
up?
getting yourself another drink.
Are there some still lined up on the bar?
There is about 4 still lined up for some of the townspeople that haven't quite come in yet. He is cutting off the kind of free whiskey at around 11 o'clock in the morning. So there are still 4 left, and you've got maybe 20 minutes before 11. Because, he likes a business. The business is thriving, but he does have some morals, but they're quite loose. He has given a child whiskey, so, we don't condone this in real life.
These are different times, okay?
I do have one question.
How much are these whiskeys?
Oh, that depends. How much of these last 4 are being drank?
Well, I have a
What
question
was
for the
that?
bartender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna point up to one of the ones on the shelf behind him. That one there.
Oh, yeah?
What is that called? I can't make it out. And I'll point to the just a random bottle.
Oh yeah,
What
you got the dragon's breath up there.
No, that one way up there. Can you get it? It's hard to see the label.
Wait. You see the bartender kind of like turns around and he
As
looks
soon
up.
as he does that, I'm gonna pick up one from the table and just try to shoot it and put it back really quick.
The bartender is...
Stealth check.
He's going to turn around, look at you, and then look at the drink, and he's going to see that there's like a little drop of whiskey that you kind of didn't
Oh, let me
quite
roll
do.
stealth for it.
Oh, no.
Do a sleight of hand. Make him do
Sleight of hand. Come on.
Let me do it.
Alright, go. You're beating what I have just rolled.
Okay. Natural 20!
Yeah, ayo!
He's going to look at you again, look down at the bar, and kind of look back up at you and say, well, I suppose there's only 3 whiskey. Someone must have grabbed one. And he gives you a wink.
I'm just gonna
He
kind of
also
nod
rolled
over.
a natural 20.
I'm gonna kind of nod over to Val.
Yeah, well, once you take your first one, you aren't really going to stop there, so, hey, why
That's
not?
what I said. I think I'm gonna go.
So,
It's warm in here. I think I'm gonna go thank our generous patron.
Oh, mate, he's sitting right next to you.
yeah, he's moving right up next to you to be like, so how much are these whiskeys?
Well, I suppose if we...
Each.
And he
Just go ahead
pulls
and
out...
tell me each.
Oh, we're going each? Okay, whew,
Mhm.
let's... do that one, and I think it's about... No, it was 7 silver last night, so... Goes back up and does it all again. About 5 silver apiece.
And how many have we sold? How many?
You-
How many have I paid for?
You've paid for... 20... You've paid for about 9 drinks so far. So that's 4 gold, 5 silver.
Wouldn't a handsome bartender such as yourself, with running such a fine establishment, want to give me those for maybe 5 silver?
That's what he just
So
said.
they are
You know.
5 silver.
I thought you said 7.
I said 7
That's-
last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I misunderstood.
They
Well, then
are
wouldn't a handsome bartender like yourself want to offer those for 3
That's
silver?
persuasion with disadvantage because of that. That's persuasion with disadvantage.
All right. I'm still doing it. Still doing it.
If you pull this
Oh,
off, I'm gonna be impressed.
All right, so 17.
what do you got, a +6?
And 21, so 17.
Oh
17.
man.
Wow. He's gonna he's gonna lean over a little bit and is
Look at this
like,
wink. Look at this wink. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's ain't over
You know
his
what?
face.
I got a better idea. How about you do something for me, and I'll write this off as a loss. Sound good?
Well, what are you thinking about?
Well, I mean, whiskey doesn't exactly happen overnight. I need you to grab me a couple of things. There is a kind of plant that runs along the ravine. We call it a thistleweed. If you can run along and grab a few of that, or a few handfuls of that, and bring it back, I would really appreciate it. I haven't been able to run some thistle wine for a little while. So if you can go along and grab some of that, then hey, you might be better off than you thought.
In that case, Lando turns around and he goes, "Free drink!" And everybody gets free drinks.
I like the sound of that. And she'll take another one off the counter and just shoot it back, slam it down.
The bartender's just gonna kind of just laugh to himself, look over to Coral, and I'm
I'm still nervous for
assuming
my
you,
first one.
yeah, you're not from here, right?
Oh no.
No, I didn't think so. I haven't seen your face around. That's alright. You know what? Drink or have as much or as little as you want. I'll probably just nick his wallet later.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Business is business, right?
Business is business. But yeah. All right.
Yeah. Alright, well, you lot, and he kind of taps the table a few times.
Yeah.
You lot all have fun. I suppose you can have as much or as little as you want. I don't really care. I'm just selling the product. But no, Lando, you grab me some of that stuff, and I'm sure we can organise a few things.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
And he kind of
Lando?
walks off.
Was that your name? I'm sorry, Lando.
Yeah,
my-
yeah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Charmed, I'm sure. And he like grabs your hand and kisses you on the hand.
Oh, thank you. She just kind of graciously allows you to do that, and then takes her hand back
She's
and
like,
just kind of folds them together. I'm Rose. This is my friend Valrus. We're actually planning to go out to the ravine very shortly. If you wouldn't mind some company, maybe we could all go together.
Of course, of course. Have you guys had some whiskey?
No, actually, could you get me one?
Yeah, have some more whiskey. Have some more whiskey.
Okay, I'll turn around and get
If
the
I
my
go get
fourth
whatever
one.
this dude asked for, thistleweed.
The
See, I
thistleweed,
wrote it
yes.
down. I'm responsible. If I go get this dude some thistleweed, he said we can have all the whiskey we want.
Thistleweed sounds like it might go good with some whiskey, actually.
I think he said that's how he makes it.
Yes, it has
I was
very
thinking.
many alchemical properties. I'm sure it could be used.
I see. I got it confused with a different kind of weed. I'm sorry. But
You two aren't going down there in this state, are you? Just
I'm fine. I don't. What state?
Oh Lord, no! I'm gonna sleep first.
It's like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Lando, you have been awake for like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah. It's called. Well, you can't just. No, I'm not going down there in this state. It's just not happening today.
How about we take? How about we?
Or it might. You all want to go? Let's go.
I kind of would like to go. Why don't we just give it a couple hours? We'll meet after lunch or something, and then go. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then we can go to the ravine. Yes. Okay.
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 Bartender's gonna slip back in and say, I heard the word lunch. We do sell lunch. You paying for all of that for everybody as well?
No.
Ah, fuck. Oh, well, I tried. And he just kind of slips off again and starts serving someone else.
So yeah, maybe
I only
if we
do
get
drinks.
some food, then we will feel a little better. But again, I'm fine. But if you feel like you need it, we can wait.
That's shady.
I see you.
Excuse me, Rose.
Yeah.
What did that gentleman do when he exchanged saliva on your head? What was that for?
It's just a custom that some people do. They just kiss. You've never seen that? It's just a
I
custom.
apologize, my lady. I did not introduce myself. My name is Lando Longash, and he grabs your hand as well. And
What? Nope. She's gonna pull it back and be like,
you pull it back.
No, the camera's around.
I see. That's okay. My name is Lando Longash, at your service.
You know what? I just realized we
Valorous.
haven't done, and would be great for me. What do you look like? Because I realized that I didn't ask. What do you look like, Lando? Because otherwise, I'm just
Got like
picturing you.
No.
I don't think any of us
No.
did the description yet.
No,
Let's do that.
I don't really have a description.
Dude.
I'll have that for next time.
Generic Chad 101. No.
Yeah, yes.
No.
He's handsome, that's all we know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Lando is hot. That's all you know.
Lando's hot. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to
Lando's
know.
hot. Sure. What? He's a bard. Like, you know those motherfuckers keep in shape.
They're all hot.
yeah.
That's pretty much one of the defining features of a bard, so
Yeah.
So why did you
Sure.
choose anyway?
Oh. Brutal. Just mean.
Oh.
No, you'll live.
So yeah. So
Okay.
what does Val look like?
Oh
Then?
no, I won't. I rolled a 1.
Val is actually kind of short and like a little on the chubbier side. She has like lavender purple skin and 2 little horns just like right on the top of her head. And she usually like keeps her hair in like braids to the side. Just the the best thing to do with hair is just to keep it away
Sure.
from her face. And she always has like a backpack on, so she always like kind of looks hunched over, but it's just because she's got a big old backpack.
Okay. Okay. I was picturing her red just when he said tiefling, so I'm glad I asked.
There we go.
So, since I'm making everyone do this, I'll go now too. So Rose is a young woman, probably in her early 20s. She has like really light blonde hair, but kind of towards the ends, it has like pink highlights that come down towards the ends. And her hair kind of always looks a little um, like nice, messy, kind of like she just got out of bed, but it also still looks okay. You know, one of those things. Kind of how my daughter goes to school every day.
Yeah.
But on her neck right here, she does have a tattoo of like a rose, just kind of black ink rose. And then her dress is actually very fine, although it's at this point it's a little tattered and a little dirty, but it looks it's like a nice lighter blue, and it looks almost like it would have been regal at one point in time, but has since kind of turned into a shadow of its former self through her travels.
Interesting.
Okay.
Keeping with it,
Yes.
Coral.
Yep, I guess I'll go next. So, yeah, Coral, going with the attractive man guy theme that Lando started there. So he's half elf, long black hair, very sharp features, kind of has this kind of noble-ish look to him, but not like he's been off on his own for a while and just had his last gig as a caravan guard. So he's kind of a little disheveled, but you know he's got his chainmail, he's got a sword. Long black hair, has it swept over his over the right side of his face pretty much all the time. So even like if he adjusts, he tries to kind of keep it on that side of his face. So I kind of wonder what might be going on there.
Nice.
Very well. Welcome everybody to the Land of Temptations, where the DM did put in a place where we would do introductions
Sorry.
of that.
I was
it
having
was
trouble
planned-
picturing.
No,
people.
it was funny because it was planned to be like of a nighttime when we come back from everything, we'd go to the inn. But I was like, shit, I've got to like rework this a little bit. So now we're at the inn to go to the ravine.
Timing.
Fair
It
enough.
worked out well. But yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm a daytime drunk.
I just want to know who's kissing my hand and if I should let them do it.
Yeah.
The
I don't
gods
know,
watch
do you
over
have standards?
drunks and children.
No uggos over in here.
No uggos.
Alrighty. So, we are going to give it a couple of hours. And Lando has sobered up enough to realize that he has just spent a lot of money and needs to do this. Otherwise, he is broke. So,
Real quick,
yes.
before that, because we missed out one very important thing because there's one of this party that has not been invited to the team yet.
Yeah, I know.
I have it in mind that oh god, these guys have no idea what they're doing. They're drunk, going off in the middle of the ravine. Something's gonna happen here. So, yeah, I'm not gonna let these guys go off on their own. But yeah, we got.
Yeah, Rose. Wouldn't it be more logical if we maybe found some protection? I you
Do
know
you
I
think it'll
have
be dangerous?
I I I am not sure that is something that is. I mean, I could pull the numbers of what might be the most probable, but I do believe that it may have some danger. I know there are some animals that could live in the thistleweed that
I mean, I'm okay with
may.
animals. Animals.
Is sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Is Landon with you guys at the moment?
Oh, I'd
You
assume
three,
so.
the four of you are still at the bar. The
Yeah.
bartender has stopped serving you whiskey maybe like half an hour after the initial conversation. You've just been drinking either water or milk or whatever that you have asked for, mainly because he knows that he's getting your wallet at the end of the night regardless of what happens. So you will be paying for something. But after a few hours, you guys have just kind of been either chatting or tinkering away or kind of just relaxing after a long couple of days with the caravan. Rose is just enjoying the ambience of the tavern for the last couple of days, being in a new place. Lando is just enjoying being the center of attention.
As usual. So he kind of like pops up in between you guys, and he's just like, "Hey,
Hi.
yeah, that place is really scary. We probably should have another person with us. We'll get fucked up if we don't. I've been there a couple times."
Oh.
And he just kind of like fades off into the crowd again right afterwards.
Oh, my. He's an odd character. Well, I mean, if you think that it's dangerous, we should probably try to find someone that wouldn't care to go with us. Maybe someone that's a little more, um, I don't know, equipped for something like this.
The funniest thing is this whole time, Coral, you're still in your full guard armor.
I
You
so
are
am.
still
I
in
got the
full
full
paladin
chainmail. I
guard
got the shield
armor.
on my back.
You
Yeah,
got the whole
there
thing.
is literally no one else in
Can
this
you roll me
town
a
that was
perception check for funsies real quick, Coral?
sure.
Who could we
If
find?
only there was somebody with a sword and armor who could help us.
Oh no.
Do you think that guard over there would know
Both
someone?
parties are completely oblivious at this point. Neither side recognizes the paladin.
All I know is that this guy's drunk. He's in trouble, and he's gonna go off and do something stupid. So I'm keeping an eye on him, but I'm not thinking about like.
I mean, sometimes life is just more fun when you go into the unknown. I mean, you got to take some risks sometimes. I mean, you can't plan for
Hey,
every
Rose knows what's up.
eventuality.
Everybody's always judging me.
Oh, you're back. You just seem to come and go. Very, no one's judging you. Does that happen a lot? I'm sorry if you felt judged. I certainly wasn't judging you.
No, I
I
said
am
Rose gets
judging
me.
you.
Everybody else is always judging me.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. I mean, come on. I mean, Val. Well, oh, sorry. Do you care if I call you Val, or would you prefer Valrus?
Yeah, that's fine. It's logical to have a shorter name. It's quicker to speak.
Yeah, my name doesn't get much shorter, unfortunately. But um, don't you ever just want to stop thinking about the numbers and just do something fun?
Fun is not logical.
Oh, fun is the most logical thing there is. Well,
I
anyway,
finished up my
how
drink, handed back to Steve, and like, all right. So I'm looking for some work to do in town. You know of anything? Someone Sellsword can possibly do around here.
The
actually?
bartender, who is the only one that
Oh,
has
you're talking to
noticed,
them.
is
Sorry.
just going to turn your head towards Val and Rose and say, "How the fuck you two have not seen this is
What?
astounding, and I need to get some weaker whiskey for later."
Oh, this guy?
But he's gonna
Him?
like push Lando back a little bit and then push you so that you can see Val and Rose on the other
The
side.
funniest thing about this
Oh,
is my passive perception is 17.
You've had a hunk of a man right next to you that has charmed you a little. Like, you're not paying attention. Plus, you've also had a few drinks. The 17 drops a few points depending on how many whiskeys, and I've already seen 3 or 4 get picked
It was
up.
4. I did 4.
Your passive perception for the next hour is now 13.
Okay, that's fine. Um,
I love that.
so yeah, I guess I still
Coral.
don't notice you.
oh. All right.
Yeah, the
So
bartender's like pushed Lando backwards a little bit and is now turning your head to be able to see the other two. I'm like, I don't know how you lot haven't noticed. He needs to go to the ravine because he owes me some shit and some money, but we'll talk later. These two also need to go, and you're looking for something to do.
right.
He had whiskey too. He should come and help. Says drunk
I mean,
Lando.
It has been
Uh,
4 hours. How are you still drunk?
I kept drinking whiskey.
I took the whiskey off you.
That's when he pulls out his flash.
I've been sneaking around behind the bar behind you, or well,
on.
actually, I've tried to sneak around the bar behind you. Have I succeeded?
Roll.
While you're rolling,
What do I roll? What do you want me to
Roll
roll?
stealth.
Stealth.
do you remember, Lando?
Hey, 21.
I'm gonna tell a really quick real life story. Do you remember my wedding with my cousin and the beer and the spare tire
Yes.
comment? Do you remember that?
I feel like there
He-
should have been a
he
comma
walks-
somewhere in that
Well,
sentence.
actually, I don't know.
You don't.
I don't remember the spare tire.
He
comment.
walks up to
I
us.
remember.
He walks up to
Go
us
ahead.
and he's like super wasted. And then a cop car drives by, like out on the main interstate, which they couldn't see you. So he freaks out and dumps his beer out, like right there in the parking lot.
I do
And
remember
then
this.
he goes, "Oh man, you know what though? You wouldn't drive down the road without a spare tire, would you?" And he reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out another open beer that he had in his inside jacket
Yes.
pocket.
That's the most
So-
Kentucky shit I've ever heard in my life.
One of
That's
the main
Lando.
things I remember about your wedding, Eric, was I needed to give the tuxedo back, the
That was a
tuxedo
s-
rental back to you, and I was drunk as hell, and I got undressed in the parking lot at the Lexington
That
Green.
was actually right after this. That was actually right after he
Yeah.
said
Oh well,
that.
I got stripped down to my underwear in the parking lot at the Lexington Green. I was like, I don't care, and I was just like throwing pieces of the tuxedo at you.
Anyway,
Christ.
so basically, Lando is he's just playing himself.
An alcoholic.
Right
Lando in
There you
real
go.
life is about to go to AA for Lando in game.
My gosh. Okay.
Continue. Sorry,
Alright.
you just reminded me of that.
So, Coral, you have now been made aware of the other three. You guys are
Yeah.
now kind of just interacting, and the bartender's basically said, like, these guys, he's going to give you a look, because he's noticed the get up, he's noticed that you're a guard, he's going to give you a look and say, yeah, look, it may not pay much, I'll give you something for it, but I feel like I'd feel a bit better if someone, at least
Yeah, these
kept
guys need
Rose
help.
and Lando alive.
Alright.
I've just met
Yeah,
Val. We appreciate her patronage here at the bar. But the other two I am aware of.
I thought I've lived in the town the longest, so he
But you
probably
also
does.
stay away from everybody.
That's
Because I
true.
remember saying that Benji's the only one that kind of introduced you in there, and due to backstory and everything that's happening, the only person you
That's
know
right.
is Benji. You've kept to yourself the entire time.
That's
Mainly out
true.
of distrust for regular folk.
Oh yeah, probably just in
And-
my own life.
Benji was the mayor, correct?
Benji was the mayor, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Mayor Benji.
He is. So, like, look, it's not
All
going to
right.
pay much, but it's something to do.
Yeah, I get it, Steve. I'll make sure these guys get back safe.
Alright?
It was Steve.
I forgot about that.
Good memory.
You know what? Thanks. I appreciate that. In the meantime, I'm going to go clean up in Isle Lando again. So, you see he's going to, like, pick up a mop and just kind of step away from the bar and just over towards the chairs and just start cleaning. That's just what it is now. It's just called Isle Lando. Regardless of who made the mess, he just
Actually,
assumes it was him.
You know what kind of a person Lando is? He sticks around and cleans up after the party, no matter how drunk he is. He'll help you out. He's like picking up chairs. He's like cleaning stuff off, wiping off tables. He'll sweep. He's helping
This
you
doesn't
out.
wipe away the debt. You know that, right?
I'm not
Like,
saying
thanks
it
for the
does.
help,
I'm just
but-
saying he's not a dick.
Well,
I'll look at Val. Are we
And
supposed to help clean
he
up?
loves bartender Steve.
I don't
Logical.
want to help clean up. Are we supposed to do that? I guess we should.
I mean, you can. I have this here, and I'm like back into like a cube.
you're trying to recreate what you did with the last one.
Yeah. And that's partially why I gave it away, is because I don't want to use it as a cheat. I want to see if I can remember if I did it or how I did it. It's the only way I'm
Brilliant.
going to learn how I did it is to do it. Is try to remember like that.
Do it more than once.
Alrighty. So, after a little bit of time, the plan has now been formed that we will be heading to the ravine when we're ready. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do in the tavern, the bar, the pub, or are you wanting to head out? Is there anything else?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine with heading out as soon as these guys sober up, and I've got the provisions.
Since
How are
Lando
you guys?
has kept drinking, you've got to wait another 2 hours. So it's gonna be around 5 p.m. before you guys head out.
Right, let's
Lando's gonna drink on the way, so let's just go. Come on.
Drink on the way.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I think it'll be fine. I mean, Lando seems like a functional alcoholic, so I think it should be fine. I know a lot of them growing up. There's a lot of functional alcoholics where I'm from, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Plus, if anything
Or
really
as long as he
happens,
doesn't
the
fall in.
adrenaline will kind of sober him up, right? And then I'm sure it'll be okay.
See, I feel like Rose is like the cool cousin at Thanksgiving that is like, hey, you want to go drink this whiskey with me?
Rose is the one the family has to warn before a party.
Yeah.
Like they will enable you to drink the whole time.
Well, everybody knows Lando is the black sheep of the family, and everybody
Mhm.
thinks Rose is awesome, but she is just right out there with
She's
Lando.
just as bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put on a better public face. I know
There's a
when
reason you two were banned from the last tavern you went to. All right. Well, if there is nothing else that we would like to do for today at the tavern, I will be getting everybody to roll 20 as we get up. The Great Ravine is not even a 10-minute walk outside of Zapren, basically leaving through the east exit of the map of the town. As you guys are kind of walking in, the few trees and few farms that kind of are littered around the town do start to fade out a little bit, and as you kind of step a little closer, Rose has fallen in the ravine, Lamau. As you guys kind of do step forward and go further out, you see that there are only a couple of trees on our side, but in the distance past where the ravine is, it is dense forestry. Like it has basically been untouched land for what could be assumed to be hundreds of years with how these trees have just absolutely shot up. With everybody, eventually we will get everyone to have a token for Roll20. We will get there eventually. I only asked them to do it like a week ago or last or 2 weeks ago or something. Wolf only joined it today.
Yet I'm the only one with my token out
Yeah,
there, so you
the only one with
shut
a
up,
token.
psychic. You
Then
shut
as you
it.
guys are kind of
You guys have to straight up like hold my hand through this. I've never done this online.
okay,
so.
Mima, it's fine. Looks like I'm gonna have to hold Lando's hand as well. Damn.
Yeah, maybe, or it could turn out Lando's badass.
Oh, I
Uh,
think Lando's badass. I think Lando's. I can
See,
feel
Rose
it.
is on my side.
I can feel it.
Coral is probably not. No.
Coral's like, oh,
But
this
yeah,
is a
so
mistake.
as you guys are kind of walking along, there aren't any people around. The ravine is kind of not considered sacred in the sense of it is like holy land or anything like that, but it's more just a kind of a sacred meaning of what has happened with the world. So Lando, Coral, and Val would have recognized or know the ravine that kind of came in was after the Blood War had kind of ended. This basically finished the war, where the gods themselves came down and had to step into the mortal plane to just separate the continents completely, as we had the Ulfram and Ashdol armies fight here in Zapren in the Lightning Ridge, and this is where the gods kind of stepped in and said, no, please stop that, that would be nice. This is one of the first instances where the gods themselves have come down into the planets, into Allowrie, to kind of step in and say, like, this is starting to get out of hand. When we step in, like, things need to change. And coincidentally, only a couple of weeks later, the war ended when the Blood Queen was killed, which Coral and Lando will know from history, and Val probably has heard tales of over time, but not exactly details. I feel like your kind of information, Val, is more word of mouth through town. There isn't really many tomes or historical pieces that are like around, but over time, that is how that has come about. So there are a few trees. A lot of it is kind of open plain. There's a lot of different flowers, a lot of different weeds. Um, More often than not, there's like little kind of pockets of creatures, little animal creatures. There's a couple of squirrels running around. There is one elk far off to the south, which is pretty cool for Rose because Rose has not seen one of them before. But there is one
So
kind of
pretty.
elk all the way down to the south. And as you're coming in, it is completely barren, but there is also this sense of awe at just this massive, like, divide that completely separates us. As far as you can see on both sides, there is just a hole, and then there is forest. It is dense.
What happened here? This
So
is
just to be clear, we come to like a cliff, sort of we come to like a cliff, sort of like the Grand Canyon, and like it comes down to like blackness. It's
It
just
goes
like a hole.
straight down into complete blackness, yeah.
Okay, okay, all right,
As
cool.
far as you know, you have been down to the ravine. Like you have been to the ravine before. Obviously, your curiosity would have gotten the better of you, and inspiration comes in many forms. But as far as you're aware, the ravine does go down. As far as you know, straight through the earth. Like there is no stop to it. The blackness kind of stops about 300 feet below the surface, where even the sun's light doesn't penetrate any further. But as far as we know, it's about 150 to 200 feet wide of just emptiness, and then blackness from 300 feet down.
I'm gonna use
Lando
divine.
walk.
Do I get anything from that?
Sorry?
Divine sense. See if there's any evil, good,
Okay.
hollowness.
Is there a role to that? I've not heard of that one before. Sorry.
No, it's a paladin
Okay.
ability.
All
Yep,
right.
as an action, detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the hallow spell or notice if there's any celestial fiend undead.
Cool.
60 feet.
As you're using that and kind of looking around, the ravine
Mhm.
itself does still have some residual holy energy around it from where they have stepped and where they've come into it. Funnily enough to you, though, the energy that kind of protrudes from the ground a little bit is a little bit of a blue thread that kind of starts to like rise a bit from the ground to the top. Even though you've been with your order for a little while and you've been like studying with the religious leaders of Ulfram for a little while, there hasn't really been any tell of blue threads. It's mainly been either gold threads or red threads. So the blue threads are new to you.
That's
But
interesting.
as there is a little bit of like a, not whimsical, but like a wisp kind of a feel to them. They're not attached to the ground, but they're not really moving any further than maybe like a couple of inches above the ground. But
right.
there's a few kind of footprints. The ravine itself has like a couple of threads that are just kind of floating around. But aside from that, no, there isn't anything else outside of that that you will have known or recognize.
Mm.
Alrighty. With coming in, would you like to do anything in particular? Or are we looking for thistleweed, or what he is doing? Because it is basically an open plain. There's a couple of creatures, there's a couple of things, there's a few kind of different plants, but it is up to you what you would all like to do. We'll have a chat.
What is this place? Why is everyone in the town so enamored with it? And I mean,
This is the place where the gods tread, so it's kind of a big deal.
the gods themselves here.
Yeah, I mean that's what
Oh,
that's what they said. I mean, well,
wow,
that's what they say, right?
wow.
Kind of in awe of seeing it here.
Well, that would explain why people revere this place so
Yeah,
much, but
it's kind of beautiful, isn't it?
a little.
What do
It's
we?
also a little
Sorry.
unsettling.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of beautiful things are unsettling, aren't they?
Well, that's true. How like wide is that? Is it to scale here
150
on the
to
map?
200 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, so the map itself isn't exactly an accurate portrayal. I made this. This is my map. I built it in a D&D map making thing. I'm very proud
Fancy.
of myself. It took me 2 hours to do the trees because it kept lagging.
Sure.
There's a couple hundred over there. I had
I'm
to
sure
fill
there's a
that
lot.
space.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of just like an overall kind of thing. It's about 150 to 200 feet wide. Where you guys are, where Rose is sitting at the moment, next to kind of that is about 20 feet. So each square, I would say, is about 20 feet of land in each square.
So
But mainly on our side. Well, from the ravine on, it's whatever I want it to be.
Sure.
what do we know about thistleweed? Is it magical?
So, thistleweed, let me think. Val would probably know the most about thistleweed. It's mainly used as an alchemical property to create either tonics, potions, wine, drinks, mainly as a reagent. For those that would kind of have a little bit of an understanding, it is basically just a common plant to use to create medicinal herbs as well. But if everybody would like to make me a nature check, we might get some more information.
Ugh, that's a terrible roll.
Whoa, that
Do it.
sucks.
20.
Your druid just rolled a 7
Oof.
on nature.
Dirty 20.
The druid's still tipsy from earlier. No.
I guess.
So,
I'm
Coral,
proficient in that too.
you are 100% certain that thistleweed is mainly used for wine, but is also used for medicinal qualities. You're able to kind of discern that maybe the bartender's creating a like a hangover cure kind of a thing for everybody. We haven't had that for a little while, so having some more of that in stock would make sense. And it does also align with how you feel and how you've seen things as well. You're like, you know what? Yeah, that would make a lot of sense for all of that. Lando, with a 20, you do know all of that information. You know of everything that's kind of going on. But you also know that it only grows here for some reason. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why Benji was able to put Zaprin on the map, is because we are the primary giver of basically this hangover medication cure to people that are either coming in and too drunk. And we know that taverns around Ulfrim sell it at a premium.
So I apologize. You may have said it. Did we find out if it was magical or not?
No, it is just a regular
Okay.
plant.
Just a weed.
I was trying to see if I could use detect magic, essentially.
I mean, if you want to, you can do whatever you
well, I
like,
mean,
mate.
Was it
well,
glowing with
yeah,
my
but it's
sense?
not
Or...
going to do anything.
With the divine sense
let me just
specifically, no.
let me just try to look around for it then.
Alrighty.
Do I know what it looks like? Well, actually, I guess I do since I rolled
You
a
would
20.
know. So, if everybody wants to look, then Coral and Lando, you two can roll with advantage for nature. Val and Rose, you two will roll flat.
I'm not
And we
gonna
shall
look.
see.
Val's
You're not
kind
going to
of,
look?
Rose is kind of still distracted by just what she's seeing and what she's thinking.
Actually, I
Beautiful
rolled the
day.
nature, but
You got something else?
Oof, I got a 10 and a 4.
Also, Lando, just so you know, if you right click on it, it'll give you the option to roll advantage or disadvantage. It'll do it all.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
do it at once.
Trying
Yeah.
to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So just right click and then it'll tell you pick it and then it rolls 2 and it'll just go ahead and do the calculation for you.
But I got a 10 and a 4, so
Yep.
nothing.
And Coral?
Here we
With
go.
advantage, we have 17.
17.
Beautiful. So, Coral, you're with a 17, you're basically going to cancel out Lando's 10, and you two are able to work together to find around 10 to 12 different individual plants of the thistleweed, which is brilliant. One thing I will get you to kind of notice is that as you pull up the kind of the 11th weed just before you're like, I think we've got enough here, it does snag a little bit. And looking down with the 17, you can notice that there are a couple of roots that have kind of taken place in the natural area. And there is a couple that kind of bring up and then lead down into the ravine, which is kind of taken up. So you can see a little bit of this green kind of thorny, greenish reddish plant that's kind of come up. And it's just kind of creeped about 40 feet up into the path around some of the thistleweed plants. And it's just kind of leveled themselves there. And as you pull up the plants, the thorny kind of weeds that are there. I totally forgot the roots is the word what I was looking for. Said it 3 times. Totally forgot the word mid-sentence.
Yeah.
As you pull out
Yeah.
one of the last one, the roots immediately lift up out of the ground and start to retreat back into the ravine.
Whoa. I'm back up. It's weird.
Magic.
So, as you are noticing a lot of that, we will wait for Lando to get back for a lot of that stuff. But with the roots kind of
I'm
coming
here.
in,
Listen.
sure. Then sit
Oh, don't
down.
even.
No.
You do that all the time. Don't you even?
No, I'm sorry. My dogs are being terrible
No,
right
I'm
now.
not talking to you. I'm talking to Psychic. He does that all the time, gets up and
Oh.
walks away.
No, my dogs are being absolutely terrible right now.
We
Yeah.
can't
Of
hear
course
them,
they
or
are.
at least I can't.
But yeah, so with it, the roots have kind of come up. You don't quite notice the roots kind of receding back down into the ravine. But Lando, you do see that there are a couple of roots that are kind of taking place around the thistleweed itself. And with coral, you're paying a lot more attention. You've noticed it kind of receding in. But you start to see that the roots kind of come back up a little bit. And about 10 feet in, they stick into the ground. And another thistleweed starts to appear out of the earth.
Whoa, that's weird. So it's like it's growing that like just right away.
Yep, straight away.
Oh.
Hey, we need to remember where this place is at.
Yeah. Hey. Rose. You're. This
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
look right.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
normal?
Yeah. I'll come take a look. Sorry. So I'll go over and take a look at what they're talking about.
Yep. Make me nature as per the usual. You can roll it with advantage now because they're specifically pointing out what you're looking for.
Beautiful.
Feel free to do that. Val is absolutely entranced with this box.
18.
Actually, Val, roll me intelligence, please.
Oh yay.
All right.
Quick question.
Go.
While I'm rolling, just for funsies, that inspiration that you gave me earlier, is that rolling over, or does that expire at the end of this episode?
Oh no, it rolls over. I'm not
Okay,
that
great.
cruel.
All right. Cool. I'm real
But you only
smart.
get one.
So, what am I? Yeah. What am
Just
I
straight
rolling?
intelligence for me, please.
Oh, cool. Great. I have a lot of that. Cool.
21. You've
Yeah.
made the box glow again in
Yeah.
way less time than you did before. So
Excellent.
this is now a little thing that you can do where you can create temporary small light sources out of little boxes. That you are aware of at the moment. It only works with these boxes that you've been tinkering with. But yeah, you can create little temporary light, essentially, which is pretty cool. Rose,
Yes.
as you are now coming over and you have seen the thistleweed that's kind of stuck up with the roots that are kind of there, do you go lean down and pick it up?
With an 18, do I? Okay, but before I pick it up, I just being cautious. I'm
Mhm.
going to cast a spell.
Okay.
I think we're all we're all the only ones. I will cast Detect Poison and Disease. For the
Okay.
duration, you can sense the presence and locations of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases. I just want to make sure that there's nothing going on in this general area with this kind of plant. That it's
Yep.
not poisonous or anything like that. So I'll
So,
cast that.
alrighty. As you cast the spell, you do see that there are little images of a purple spore that are kind of coming off of the root itself. But you can also see that if you looked carefully, you can see like a cylindrical area around the thistleweed itself, where like some of the spores that are coming off of the root that are just flying off with the wind into the direction of the thistleweed is completely bounced off. So it's kind of like an invisible force around the plant itself. But you, with the pointing out from Coral and Lando, you know that the roots have kind of made the flower appear, and you're able to discern that the roots themselves are probably not good, but the plant itself does kind of have some form of protection, which you will know from your druidic feelings and how you feel. You will know that it aligns with what you've been told from Benji, where the druids bless the land. So any of the plants in that are free from any disease.
Okay. The plant's fine, and I'll reach down and I'll pick some. I would be careful of the roots. They do seem to have some poison in them.
Oh,
I think this is just a gift from the druids. It seems like these plants here, they're immune from any kind of disease. And I'll pick one off, and does it regrow back?
Yep, so the roots are going to come back down into the ravine a little bit. There's going to be a few seconds, maybe around 10, 15 seconds, before the roots come back up about same to where it was before and kind
Okay.
of stink into the ground. And you're going to see as another one comes up that kind of looks a little bit like rosemary as it comes up, but it has little white flowers coming off of the ends of it.
So is it a different plant?
It is a different plant.
So we don't always get the
wow.
same plant, but the blessing of the druids does keep this land fertile, and it keeps providing, and it does ensure that all of these are safe for person contact. But just do avoid the roots. They can be dangerous. But
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
Well, yes, of course they're good. Well, we wouldn't be here blessing things if we were going to hurt anybody. And as you all hear the sound coming in, turning around, there is a little goblin creature that's kind of just like sitting on the ground next to them with their hands on the ground. Kind of like you can see that there's definitely doing something with the land. Their hands are kind of on the ground. Why would we bless something after so long if we were only going to kill them later? That doesn't make any sense.
Lando, he's as sneaky as you are.
They have no idea.
It's a
what I'm saying.
goblin! Hey, goblin!
I don't know you.
Uh,
Oh, no, you don't know me. I like goblins. It's a goblin, y'all.
It's a bit rude. I've been sitting
It's
here for
rude
over
to like
100.
you.
I've been sitting here for over 100 years, blessing this land for this town to have something, and you're. I'm
wait,
not just a goblin.
wait. Have you been? You were sitting there the
Seems
whole
like you
time?
just want to be mad.
Oh, we didn't see you.
Well, no, I didn't want you to see me. There's a lots of different things that kind of happen, and I would prefer not to be seen. You know what the people are like. They fucking kill us. They kill us for doing nothing.
Well, then why do you keep helping them?
Well, we entered a pact about 120 years ago. Once the war kind of ended, the gods came down and they were like, hey, we would like to stop all of the fighting. Can you make sure that they do their thing? We couldn't do anything on the other side. It's just trees over there. So we decided to help over here. The town was there. They decided to build up, so we thought, so why not? We've had to deal with them for about 100 years. We blessed the land as soon as the war ended as a gift to the gods, and the humans came in and decided to take some.
Oh,
They're quite selfish bastards, if you ask me.
If you don't mind me asking, you touched a little bit on them, how they are. Why is that exactly? Why is it so that you fear for your life for doing this for them?
Well, let's think of this for a moment. How many times have you seen people actively doing any form of magic in a world since the war ended and they hated magic? Kind of makes sense if you ask about it.
Well, that's kind of my question. I don't really understand fully why they hate magic so much.
Oh. The golem is going to kind of watch you a little carefully, and just give you the weirdest look as if like, what do you mean?
yeah. I'm gonna
Carl.
look at him that way too.
Sorry?
I'm looking at him that way too. Like, surely you know.
Rose, you are now getting a few weird stares from people after saying that one.
I'm sorry, did I say something?
Lando also.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, magic's caused a lot of trouble around, especially like specifically right here.
I gather that, but I don't. No one seems to want to talk about it. I don't really know exactly why.
Well, no one talks about it because if they do and get caught, they're going to die. Well, that's been the rule for a little while. It might have lessened in the past 50 years. I don't know. I don't really talk to many people. I kind of just sit here, do my thing, and it feeds.
Also, magic's pretty weird. Talking about it sometimes calls it.
But yeah.
Actually, talking about it is exactly what calls it.
I mean, I'm familiar with magic. I can do some myself. I just
Oh, I'd be keeping that information to yourself.
Your
kid.
magic's not magic.
I mean, my magic is
Your magic's like earth stuff.
it's still magic.
Stuff.
It's earth stuff. It's not magic.
It's magical enough. I mean,
It's not magic.
you still need
Can
spell
you do
slots.
magic? You have lots of thoughts for someone that plays an instrument.
Nope. New magic here.
Well, there you go. If you can't do it, don't speak on it.
So no one's going to tell me exactly why everyone is so
A highly
hesitant.
illogical response. I believe people fear what they do not know.
Well, I mean, there's stuff that happened with the Blood Queen. I know that. I mean, I'm not a scholar or anything, but she was like big into magic and caused all sorts of trouble, didn't she?
Well, a lot of trouble is downplaying the destruction that happened. There were entire civilizations that were wiped off the face of Allowrie.
The gods had to come down to deal with things. That's kind of a big deal.
You see that Rose looks a little.
The gods are full of shit.
A little embarrassed.
Hey.
Oh, this is gonna be
forgive
good.
me. One more question. Who is the Blood Queen?
Oh.
Where have
Hang
you
on
been?
a second. How do you not know about that?
Let's just for a minute just assume I don't know, and let's just answer the question.
All right. Now I need to decide if I'm going to do this in her voice or I'm doing this in my voice. Let's roll on it. Fuck, I'm doing it in her voice.
Love it.
All right, you know what? Let's assume that you don't know what happened so far ago.
Yeah, just
the long story short. Let's say the long story short. Basically, Blood Queen bad. Blood Queen likes to live. She finds that she can prolong her life using healing magic. Essentially speaking, she would use the healing magic to overclock the cells in her body, so instead of degrading after a certain time, they would actually keep on going, essentially keeping her alive for, I think it was about 500 years. So after the 500 years, when she kept on staying alive, she learned that power was quite good. Power is nice. We love that shit. I can do it with the ground. And he kind of looks over at Lando. I'm also the one keeping the town alive with the plans, but we'll ignore that one for later. So basically speaking, when magic kind of became bad is when the war ended, and that was about 500. The war ended about 100 years ago, but let's be honest, the war for the world has kind of been happening for a long time. Essentially, once the war ended and the gods came down here and was like, absolutely the fuck not, and separated the two continents, all from itself, us basically, kept to ourselves. We did the old style, the traditional things that we remember from thousands of years ago, from passed down through generations. The elf might know something about that. You guys keep tomes for fucking eons. On the other side, you've got the more progressed, more developed people, and they've been running around and doing their own thing and creating themselves a new world. But they don't really take too nicely to us. The war that happened was 100 years ago. Gods came down, said, nope, opened up the planets. We don't know what's down there. I just know that that's where I can get the roots from, and the town has been quite happy ever since.
You said 100 years ago this happened.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, this Blood Queen, does no one know who she is?
Well, it's about 120 years ago. I don't know. I know the elves last a while. Do you have a father or a grandfather that might have been around?
Well, yeah, we know of her and a lot back when she was still around, but yeah.
Ask him then. Maybe he knows someone.
Who was
I've been
this?
sitting here for 50 years.
Is she just known as the Blood Queen? That's just her name?
That's basically what we call her, yes.
Yeah.
Seems a silly thing to name your child, I guess. Blood Queen.
Well, I'm pretty sure she assumed her own name when she, decided to be the Blood Queen. If you're powerful enough, you can get to choose your name. Who's going to stop you?
I think it's a
Fair.
beautiful name.
You're a strange creature.
That's what I would name. That's what I'm going to name my first daughter.
I'm pulling a Rumpelstiltskin and taking that.
I'm just thinking. I think it's odd that no
Oh,
one
you
really
just
knows
told
her
me your
identity.
name.
That's not my name. Do you think I'd be that stupid?
Maybe.
What is your name?
I would like you, as soon as I can find the spell real quick, I would like you to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
16. You kind of are paying a bit too much attention to it, and you can see that the roots are kind of starting to wrap around your legs and try to pull it out from under you. But you're able to just kind of like stand there and just kind of like, yeah, cool, what are you doing? Like, well, you know what? He might be an idiot, but he's a bit strong.
Hey, what? Hey, is that more your magic? I mean,
Oh,
not
yeah,
magic.
no, that was just specifically for that one. He's pissing me off.
Oh. Well, I get it. All right.
Look,
So it was wrapping around my legs or wrapping
yeah,
around
it was
his
wrapping
legs?
around yours.
Oh, okay.
It was wrapping around Lando's. She was like specifically trying to like either make you fall over or just kind of embarrass you a little bit, just to humble you a little bit. The Goblin is not the
so-
biggest fan of you at the moment.
All right. So Lando pulls out his rapier and holds it to this goblin's throat and says, "Fucking try that again."
Hey. Pull out my shield and interpose.
Now it's a bit more like it.
No
I
bloodshed
do
yet.
say it's taken a little bit of time, but it's nice to have a bit of entertainment around here. Well, I mean, if you want to, you can try. But zoop, and as you hear him say, hear her say, "You can try," she vanishes and quickly appears 30 feet backwards, with her hands still in the ground. And the roots are now starting to like entangle around her, and says, "Look, you can try as much as you like, but I've been dealing with these people for 50 years. I know how most of them think. You can't get me, and I would like to keep them alive. So let's not do something that rash again, yes?"
If
Wait.
we injure him, it may affect the blessing. Just keep that in mind, Lando. I'm not saying
So what
don't do
is?
it.
It
I'm
would be
just
very
for her.
illogical.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So I'm sorry, but what? Who are the people you're trying to keep alive? I apologize. I'm not following.
Well, clearly, the town of Zaprin. I've been sitting here for 50 years. I took over from Oral, which was, I think he was here for about 70 years.
He's the one or she, correct? I'm sorry. She's the one that's keeping the blessing going here in the ravine.
I am, yes. Oral was before. Oral kind of started it. He fixed everything, fixed the land, done everything. He's the one that made the deal with the gods. To be honest, I haven't met them yet, so I have no real connection except for the one with my hands on the ground.
So it's
All
just
right.
you?
So Lando
No,
says,
no
"Hey."
one else?
Yeah, just me.
Oh.
All right. So Lando says in response to you, like, after I held the rapier to your throat and you
Disappeared and
poured it
teleported
away,
30 feet back.
he says, well, you know what? Maybe don't try to attack me. I'm not here to bother you, so I don't know why you're trying to attack me."
I mean, you would have known if I was trying to attack you. I would have made it very obvious. But in
You
saying
did.
that,
You
How
did.
about
You
we
had
how about we both calm down?
vines trying to wrap around my legs.
have
How about we both
you've
calm
never
down?
seen anyway. You know that doesn't actually do any damage, right?
I agree with Coral. Let's just take a step back, or in your case,
Yeah.
a big leap. Just take a deep breath. We just came to get some thistleweed. We don't have to turn this into a thing. Also, but
Right,
you
yes, well,
probably should be a little more careful with your pranks. I mean, I'm one for a good prank, but you could have hurt somebody. So maybe just next
we make
time.
sure not to actually hurt anyone.
Well,
A
he'd know
light
that.
trip,
To
a
be fair.
light push. I mean, about 20 years ago, someone fell in, and I did try to help them, but they didn't really like that, so I had to let that one go. But aside from that, we're keeping everything alive.
Yeah. I don't feel too terribly comfortable here anymore. Can we? So we got what we came here for, right?
Yeah,
Should we head back to town?
Yeah,
sure.
I
It
think
was
that's a good idea.
really nice meeting you, Miss. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I didn't give it to you.
Oh, could we catch it? 'Cause
Rumpelstiltskin.
He really isn't very bright, that one, is he?
he's
He's drunk, isn't he?
no, not
That's
Rose,
why we've got this.
just met him,
Anyway.
and it's pretty clear he's not.
Rose, why were
Yes.
we here? I believe you were told to come here for a specific reason. Is that correct?
Us, yes, we've got the thistle
Yeah.
weed that we came for.
No, you specifically. We were going to
You
go for
know,
a different reason before the facility.
I'm not really
Right.
sure. I was doing this as a favor for Evelyn. She just thought that it would be good for me to see it.
Oh, I remember her. She's such a nice lady. She can be a bit selfish sometimes, but it's fine. It's great. The basic. Let me guess. She told you to come in because there's voices or some stupid shit.
That's yes. That was.
Yeah. She's got some issues going on. It's fine. There's no real reason for anybody to come here except for the ones that kind of want to pick up the thistleweed. But
I
for
wasn't sure
you,
what
my
she
dear,
meant about the voices. Does she hear voices?
she tells herself she does.
I see.
When you get lonely after a certain amount of time, that's usually what happens. You kind of make the voices, and if they answer, that's when you know you're crazy. Hers have been answering for many years.
Can we tell if she's lying? What's that?
You want to make some
Insight?
insight?
I'm gonna insight
Good
this.
question.
Yeah,
wanna
feel
insight.
free.
Ooh, my
Alright.
insight's
well,
terrible.
Ooh, here it comes.
22
Oof.
on the insight.
22.
8.
So, Coral with 22. Lando, are you rolling? No?
Well, he got a 22, so I don't see why I should.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
got -1 on my roll, so
With the 22,
I can't even get a 22, so it doesn't make any sense.
with the 22, you can absolutely tell that she knows who Evelyn is by name. She knows this person. She is 100% telling the truth.
Okay.
Evelyn is off her rocker.
I do love your description. Evelyn's got some stupid shit. I even
Lots
wrote
of
it down.
stupid shit going on. Yes.
I've even written it down in my notes. Evelyn's got some stupid shit going on.
Love it. You know what? How about we do this? You've got what you need for the bartender. Oh fuck! I've hit something. You've got what you need for the bartender. You can go and do that. Rose, they say your name is. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you ever prefer to be outside, in sort of, with nature and things?
I mean, yes, that's where I'm most comfortable, typically. Why?
Yeah. Well, honey, you're a druid through and through. I can see it here and
Well,
now.
I have some training. Where I'm from, it was almost mandatory, really.
Mandatory. Oh, that changes a couple of things. It's going to make things interesting.
It just
How about
happens kind of
how long?
naturally.
Are you attached to anybody in town?
Uh,
I hope
not
the answer is no.
not particularly. I mean, I've been staying with Evelyn, but now
Oh God.
you've kind of made me wonder if I should go back.
Oh, she's
Um,
harmless. She's just a bit fucking crazy.
Why? Why are you asking?
She talks to herself. I mean, it's not exactly
Not that.
nice.
Why are you asking
Oh.
if I have any connections?
Okay. Well, essentially put, I do have something that I should tell you. Basically, with the Druidic Council here in Lightning Ridge, we tend to keep everything kind of natural in everything that we do. And essentially put, the humans have kind of come in, made their town, they do all the farming. We have a deal with them. But what I want you to do, because you are quite oblivious to everything that has been going on, as well as your nature in things, which is a bit sad if you ask me. But I want you to head over to the town of Liaro. Oh, wait, hang on, let me... what was the human name for Liaro again? Gira, that's what. Gira, G-I-R-U.
Not
Gira.
much better.
Well, that's what they called it.
Okay.
I would like you to go to the town of Gira. They can teach you a little bit more about what we do here, and they're going to give you a little bit more. As for your friends, I'm assuming they're friends. You wouldn't travel with other people if they're just random strangers. That's, stranger danger. That's just unnecessary.
Yes,
Except for the armored one.
I am familiar with stranger danger, and I have had that thought recently. In fact,
It's the dumb one, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so. Basically, if you go to Gira, you'll be able to learn a little bit more about what's going on. And when you're there, ask about Hermona.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh, that's just something for you.
Wait,
Little
no,
something
no,
I
wait.
know.
Why would you tell me to ask about her?
Well, I thought you might want to know a bit more information.
I
Ask
do.
about
What do
who?
you,
I'm
what do
sorry.
you know?
About Hermona?
What about
I mean, it's
Hermona?
a name. That's just a name, isn't it?
It's a very particular name, and I would like to know what you know.
Well, Hermona's the librarian. She can give you a bit more information.
The librarian. Oh,
Well,
okay.
every town has one, don't they?
Yeah. No,
Is
no,
she
no.
a
That's
sexy
Well, not every.
librarian?
oh,
Not every
You
that's
are
great.
hopeless.
Okay. So Hermona's there.
Just
She's
the
there.
librarian.
Okay. Perfect. I will definitely do that. Thank
What a
you.
strange reaction to a name. A librarian, they deal with books. And you're acting like she's some great figure. Anyway,
I mean,
you're a strange
names.
creature, my dear.
You know what names are, right? I mean, they have a
Who,
person
me?
Yes,
attached to
they're
them.
names that... Well, yes, but not particularly this time.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, you could... The goblin's kind of like looking at you a little bit and says, that
It's
one
just
makes me nervous.
ooh, I'm really upset about goblins judging me.
a minute ago you seemed to really, really like goblins.
I don't.
Well, hypocrisy in its
I'm just
finest form.
excited about whatever, you know?
I could probably say that there's a pebble over there that tells someone to fuck off if you throw it at them, and he'd start running off immediately. He seems like that kind of person.
If it was pretty.
He really isn't the smartest one, is he?
I don't know. I thought that
I
was
don't
kind
have
of
to be.
I thought that was kind of funny.
I
Thank
don't
you, I
have to be.
appreciate that.
Also, ironically,
Yeah.
just above table, you probably have a pretty high intelligence, don't you? I was
Actually,
just
no.
like,
It's 12. It's a +1. It's
oh,
12.
okay. Oh no, because
My
charisma.
Charisma's the
Yeah.
highest.
I got
And
Super high, yeah.
dexterity and constitution are behind that.
I forgot. Charisma's the bard. Yeah.
I
My
think
bad.
Val's probably the only smart one we've got here.
Yeah.
Probably. What's mine?
I don't know. You got wisdom going on, right?
Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
wisdom.
No.
Wisdom and
Yeah,
intelligence
you've
are
got the
different.
wisdom going on.
I got the wisdom. Yeah.
Wisdom's
You
more
and
like
me are pretty
old
and dumb.
people
It's
smart.
great.
Like old people smart. To me, wisdom is I can make the right decision. I don't know how I got there. Intelligence is I know how to get there, but I don't know if it's the right decision.
Yeah.
See, I like that. See, I always think of it like intelligence is young people smart, wisdom is old people smart. That's how I always think about
That
it.
is
Love
the
it.
nicest way of telling Wolf that he's old I've heard in a long
Stop
time.
it.
I didn't mean to do that.
All good. Okay, you now throw up from the whiskey from earlier. No, I'm kidding.
I would probably the milk and whiskey. I'm probably throwing it.
Oh my
That's probably
god.
why I've been
Oof.
so quiet.
You've been puking in the corner the whole time.
You had a little bit coming up. That's why you've been quiet. You just got a little bit coming up. You're like, no, I'm holding it in. If I say something, it's coming. Yeah. Well, if you go to Una, that is where you should find a little bit more information about that. With the whole elven thing, there's probably some tomes back there that you would recognize or know as well, which would be quite good. And with Una being a brand new town, I can assume that you, little miss, have not been there either, correct?
No.
Yes, I'm talking to you now. The one that's the same height as I am.
No, I have not been there yet. No.
Yeah, well, maybe it might be good to expand your horizons and do something different for a change. It could be fun. I couldn't really give a shit about the other one, but you three look like you've got yourselves put together.
Well, a little bit. So where is this Garo place?
So Ura's, let me remember. The other one was north, that was east. So if you go east, there should be a little town called Birol. So you'll have Birol and Ura. They weren't very creative with their names. They kind of just threw letters at the wall and said, fuck it, why not? So you've got Birol, and then past Birol you've got Ura. Birol is basically just a little town. You might be able to find something to sleep there, but that's pretty much it. It's like a throughway between Ura and oh fuck, what was the other one called? Who cares? I'm just sitting here.
How long of a journey are we talking?
Between here and Ura, or between here and Birol?
Well, the end destination.
In destination, about 1.5 days.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
It's not far. Have you not looked at the map, dearie? The whole Great Divide thing basically was very unjust. We have like maybe 30% of the continent, and the other bastards have got their other 70%.
Has anyone ever thought about just building a bridge?
Oh, it never works. Okay, the last person that did, funnily enough, actually, the last person that did was about 73 years ago. I believe his name was Tenor. Tenor built the bridge, he got about halfway, and then for some reason the earth kind of just shot up a little bit. There was a bit of dark energy. It went, and it just kind of sucked him in, and we never heard from him since. I suspect the wood is probably still down there as well.
Wow.
Long story
I
short,
heard
he's
there is
dead.
no bottom.
But there's always a bottom. I'm keeping that as an inside thought.
I think we all had one. It just got really quiet. I heard somebody chuckle. I think we all had the same thought. Just nobody
We
said
were
anything.
winking earlier. Let's go back to winking.
Oh, Jesus.
That was the most
That's
knowing silence I'd ever heard.
This is why it's good
You know
to
what the
play
worst
with.
part is? It took me a second.
This is what I love about playing with people that are older than I am, because all of my players in my campaign are younger than me, and I have to keep a lot of my references and jokes to myself. I don't need to do that here.
Yeah.
It's nice. I enjoy it. In saying that, yes, the next destination is Ura. If you head there, things should be better. Do be careful, though, as the druids have kind of made their own little towns. Be careful if any of them stop you. Just say that you're with Allowrie. They'll let you through.
Say we're with who?
Allowrie. That's my
Blah,
name.
blah, blah. Say it one more time for me.
Allowrie. Yes. And what was that? That was weird. Strange creatures you
You
are.
have a weird name. It's kind of hard
Your
to
name is a
say.
plant. It is also a common plant.
Did I spell this correctly?
I don't know. I
Well,
can't
shit.
read.
It's very
I know. I can't get it to not be wordy.
blurgen blah.
You have to type it.
We're with blah blah blah.
That's quite offensive.
I think we'll try to. I think we'll be able to manage.
All right. Well, Uda is that way. Tell them sent you, and it'll be fine. Now, if you don't mind, you've got what you need. I've got a job to do because those roots don't exactly mold themselves. Someone's got to keep the flowers safe.
Hey.
All right.
We have a destination.
Nice to meet you.
I guess it was nice meeting you, regular.
Oh. You know what? You're the closest so far. I'll give you that one. That was just offensive.
Bloggerball.
I got. We'll get out of here then.
Dumbest one. Anyway, have fun. Yeah. Enjoy. Do whatever it is that you need to do, and I would say good luck to you, Rose. You're probably going to need it the most, especially after the reaction that you had. And as soon as she finishes, you hear another.
Wait. What the?
Completely different. Completely disappeared this time. The voices that you were hearing over the last couple of days since you arrived in Zapren have now completely gone.
That was weird, right? That wasn't just me. That was strange.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was, wasn't she? Well,
I don't know if we should take her advice, although I'd be lying if I say I wasn't tempted to see if Hermona is actually there. I don't know what to do.
Well, we have a destination. We know where we're going.
Yeah.
And that is where we're going to end session 1 for today.
Mm.
Yay!
Hey, you
we
made
did
it
it.
through.
We survived.
You made it through without having a panic attack, Psychic. I'm so happy for you.
The panic attack was the name.
Sounded like you just had a stroke.
See, I only had 2 panic attacks, so that's cool.
That's fine. Yeah, but your character was drunk most of the time, so cheers.
Yay!
I did
My
not
real
expect
person
to
was
make
drunk
Rose an
too.
alcohol. Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
No, I was also not expecting. Like as I said, I was hoping that it would be like we'd head to the tavern of a nighttime, and that's where the information for Ura would kind of come through. But we hid
Nope.
there in the morning. We found out Lando is a functioning alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, I better change this stuff real quick. So, thank you.
Went straight to day
Get ready.
drinking.
I would expect nothing less. No. But no, thank you everybody for joining us in the first session of Temptations here on the Wolfkins TTRPG channel. Tomorrow, if Wolfkin allows, I believe. No?
What are you gonna say?
Daggerheart.
Daggerheart's not tomorrow. No, not tomorrow.
Okay.
I won't
So
be able
not
to do
doing
it tomorrow.
Daggerheart tomorrow.
I
but that
will
is fine.
plan that. We will have that again, but I will not be able to run it tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Okay. But if you do want some more 5e D&D action, next Monday, I believe,
I
is
promise
Cooper
we will
Quest.
play Monday. We will play Monday.
The next Monday, starting from I think it's 9:30 that you start your time.
Yeah.
Is Cooper Quest.
You're doing good at
and
this.
Then next
This is
week,
great. I don't even have to do this part. This is great.
And next week on the Thursday night, starting from 9:30, I believe we have Dragonbane.
We do.
Which should be this one. So the Temptations will happen fortnightly, and Dragonbane will happen on the off weeks.
I will say I've never heard anyone actually use the term fortnightly until you, and you've used it like a bunch of
I
times
love it.
now. I do, I love it. I love it so much,
love
but I
it.
just wish
Good
more
word.
people said fortnightly.
I've never heard it used as an adverb before. Like,
Yeah, right?
Fortnite itself is already an obscure word.
Well,
maybe not as much as
In
Jack,
America,
not
but,
maybe.
but like used correctly is an obscure word. And
Well,
then
see-
like you make it an adverb, and that's wow, you know.
See, here in Australia, our pay cycles for most places are either weekly or fortnightly.
we
Most of
just call
our
it bi-weekly?
appointments, most of everything is no, because bi-weekly is wrong.
But I mean, that's what we call it. But sometimes I never know
Always
if
have
which
someone.
someone.
Bi-weekly is ambiguous, and that's
Yeah.
what I hate about it.
Because
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
be like
Never
twice a
quarterly.
week.
Fortnite is
Twice a
not
week or
ambiguous.
every other.
We
Yeah.
will finish up with the stream, get everything sorted.
One more thing.
Good time.
I do want
Ooh.
Tuesdays. Tuesdays, you got to check out Omega's channel because we've got Walking Dead on Tuesday. So that's
Yes.
me. That is me over on Omega's channel.
Wait, who's Omega? Do I know Omega?
Omega is, you've not played with them, but they are in my Dragonbane game, which means you don't watch any of the shit I do. So that's why
Actually, I've watched Kupo. I've been watching Kupo Quest.
he's not there. But yeah.
So
You should
if
watch
you-
that's why I
Dragonbane.
don't
It's
know
fun.
who Omega is.
Dragonbane's great. Dragonbane's great. You should check that out, and you should check out his Walking Dead, especially if you want to watch me play a very let's see, what's the nicest way to put this? Morally
Asshole.
ambiguous ex-senator. So it's been fun.
Okay, I like that.
It's been very fun.
See,
I'm also the
I've
longest
only
surviving
recently
character so
been-
far.
I've only recently started to even look into other RPGs. Like I've only recently even started looking at other RPGs because I have this idea where I want to do alternate universe Curse of Strahd with Duke and Kelly every year. And I think next year is going to be Silver Age comics, superheroes, fighting Legion of Doom led by Strahd von Zarovich.
That
and it's
sounds
gonna
good.
be
Look
amazing.
into there's a Marvel Multiverse one that's newer. I've not played it yet. I do have the book. That one might be fun for it. And then there's a
Right.
Capes Heroes. Quit trying
I'm going
to
to
kill
jump
the
in.
quit trying
I'm
to
gonna
kill it.
No,
jump
you
in.
shut up. We're talking.
This
We're
is a
talking right now.
conversation that we are going to have off stream.
This is
Which
my
is
stream.
beautiful
We'll
and
do
great.
whatever the fuck I want to
Anyways,
do.
And this is my campaign. We're going to end the campaign here. Thank
I
you everybody for
control
watching.
the screen transitions.
I
Okay,
got to go.
I'm gonna do
Let's see if we
this.
can see how I spelled this.
I'm gonna do this because
Yeah,
I
okay.
want to, not because Psychic said to. But I will kill the stream here. Good night, everyone.
Night.